I hooked up with a foreigner who has a long-term girlfriend, and I feel horrible for her. For reference, I'm a female first-year college student at a coastal college in the eastern United States. I was walking downtown one Friday night with my friends after leaving a music venue, drunk, when I make eye contact with a guy, but for an abnormally long amount of time. I mean at least 10 seconds. I notice that he's cute and perhaps a little too old for me, but I'm a little drunk and I'm feeling bold, so I turn around and walk up to him. I asked him for his Snapchat, because that's just an easy way to talk to someone, and he mutters to me, "I'm from Germany though." I tell him I don't mind and I'd like to get to know him. He says okay, and we exchange Snapchats. For a few days, he did not reach out, so I figured he wasn't interested. Okay, whatever. But he eventually reached out and we began talking frequently. We tell each other all about each other, where he tells me he is studying in Germany to be a doctor, how he is on a tour of the United States, about his hopes and dreams, family, and I do the same. I start to feel a sense of closeness to him before we even met up again. One night he asked me to hang out with him and his friends before he left for a new city to visit in America. I happily say yes. However, he is 23, and so are all of his friends, so he suggests bar hopping. Long story short, I get my fake taken, get extremely embarrassed, but he decides to come back to my dorm with me. We talk for a while and eventually we make love, some of the best, might I add, and we did many times, but irrelevant. We end up spending the whole night telling each other so much about our lives and being extremely vulnerable with each other. He had to leave the next morning for his flight for the next US city on his list, so he leaves. I'm left at home, a little sad that it came to an end, but content, realizing that this was a one-night thing. I shouldn't become obsessed. I'm not delusional, and knew he probably did this kind of stuff with a bunch of girls. He is subjectively a very attractive man, and with that accent, I know other girls ate that up too, but still I was happy about it. I expected him to not reach out much while on his tour, and he didn't for a lot of it. But he would occasionally send me pictures of Vegas or San Francisco or Hollywood Boulevard or text and ask how I'm doing. He then told me that he is going to make a detour from his plans and come back to my town to see me. Obviously this is very exciting for me, and I say yes, and we make arrangements for him to come stay the night. He flies back to me and comes over. He greeted me with a necklace that he bought me while he was gone, matching his, and put it on me. We again talk about our lives in depth, our futures, and his tour. We make love again, multiple times, and we ended up staying up until like 4 in the morning, just talking. Couldn't tell you everything we discussed, but it was very intimate, and he is an extremely romantic person. Like when we woke up, he watched me get ready telling me how beautiful I am and how upset he is to say goodbye, kissing me in between every step of my morning routine. Right before he left he pulled me back into bed, and told me to never settle for less, that whoever ends up with me is an extremely lucky man, and that I am beautiful, intelligent, funny, kind, etc. He told me he wants to one day fly me out to his home and show me where he lives. It was a very sweet moment for me. I started crying because I don't think anyone's ever told me such nice things. I know though, that men will say anything to get in your pants, but this felt real at least to some degree. We hug and kiss, and tell each other, have a great life. And he walked away. Later that day, he removed me as a friend from his Snapchat. I'm pretty upset, but again, realized this was not going to be a long-term situation, so I was okay. I brushed it off as a cool meetup with an awesome person that I was lucky to meet, once-in-a-lifetime person that I'll never forget. This goes on for about a month, neither of us reaching out. Fast forward to last night, some guy adds me by search on Snapchat, not a name I recognize, but I accept it anyways. He sends me a snap, and to my shock, it was a German guy, saying that he misses me so much. I ask him why he is contacting me on a Snapchat of a person's name that isn't his. He then sends me paragraphs explaining that this was a fake Snapchat, that he has a long-term girlfriend back in Germany, that they aren't doing well and he wasn't sure if he wanted to really be with her. He told me that spending time with me was really great and refreshing for him, that he will never forget me and I was more special to him than I realize, but he doesn't want her to find out, so he will be talking to me on this Snapchat because he doesn't want to lose contact. I didn't say much, I just told him that while I feel the same way, that what he did was wrong and I wasn't sure what to say. He said, I know, sleep well and when you wake up we will talk about this more. I'm not sure what much there is to talk about. There is the Atlantic Ocean and a girlfriend dividing us, not like we are going to get married. But he was very special to me and I am ashamed to admit that I do want to talk to him. I love the plot. He blocked me on Instagram, assuming so I cannot find the girlfriend. I will probably stop talking to him and write this off as a crazy thing that happened to me in college, but I am sad. I feel guilty and terrible for the other girl in Germany. But he was one of the most memorable people I have ever met.